Okay, good evening and good morning to you in Europe. Hopefully you're all well and ready for a very exciting webinar coming up. Pre-Christmas, guys. So yeah, not many days now till Christmas. So hopefully we've got a real bumper presentation for you to get yourself kick-started for 2024. First off, can everyone hear me? So maybe just type into the box before I start ranting on that you can all hear me. Okay, I'm getting some yeses. Fantastic. All righty, well, let's just dive into what we're going to be discussing tonight or this morning if you're in Europe. So we're going to be going over what we've been trading, how we've been trading, and what we've been investing for over 15 years now, how we've got on for 2023. We're going to show you how we make our money from market function trades rather than conventional trading methods, and also how we invest in a different way to achieve 20 to 30% per annum on our investments, which is well above the normal, but also you need to be at this level to safeguard your wealth. We're going to go over the main two reasons why, if you're not making at least 20% a year, you're going backwards. We're also going to be talking about the Christmas rally and the expiry trade. Expiry trade, I'm sure you've heard about the expiry trade. It's a phenomenal trade, which I come on every month and I rant about it, and every month it wins. Most of you have got on board the expiry trade. If you don't have it, it's definitely one to strap into your trading arsenal. It's a phenomenal trade and it's very simple to use and great even if you're new to trading. Very, very good for people that are time poor as well. Now, if you don't know, we run a free Telegram app. We've been running this for some time now, and you can get on that for free. You've, of course, got to download the Telegram application first, but then you can scan that QR. Cameron's going to also post in a link, which he's done right now. And you can join that for absolutely no cost, guys. We'll give you important information on the markets. You'll get access to live events like this. There's a whole host of benefits. So get yourself on that one. There's a lot of people on there already and they are enjoying it. All right, most of you know us, but a very quick recap. We are based in Australia, our company is. However, myself and Cameron do travel around the world. We are an ASIC licensed company, so we have a financial license. That's important. The company is founded by myself and Cameron. I'm sure you all know about Cameron as well. We've got over 30 years trading experience now. We've been helping clients just like you now trade the markets and invest for over a decade now. So we've been around a very long time in this market space. And we specialize predominantly on index trading. We have looked at Forex, we've looked at commodities, but we really decided to focus our energies on index trading. We find it much easier to spread our risk and trade the index markets and invest in the index markets rather than buy, say, just individual stocks, which, you know, you could wake up to a nasty disaster one day. We've been featured across the world on many TV programs and articles. Here's Cameron on Sky News Money. Why do we focus on index trading? Well, here's a quick list. We can trade at set times, so we can plan our life. We generally, if we're day trading, we're going to focus on the first 30 to 60 minutes. And then after that, I'm setting alerts if the markets get down to key levels. I'm certainly not at my screen all day long. Many people think about investing in trading. They visualize someone sat at the screen all day long. That's not actually the best way to do it, guys. Technology allows you to spend minimal time at the screens these days. So you've really got to learn to make use of that technology, free up your time and make money while not being committed to staring at the screens all day long. Overnight trades, for short-term trades, we're generally not in any unless they're risk-free. We don't trade the news. And as I said, we really focus on market function trades, which are at set times. And we'll go over why these are so powerful. Traditional approaches to trading, I'm sure you know technical analysis, I'm sure you know fundamental analysis. They have their place in trading, don't get me wrong, but my view is that if 95% of people are struggling long term to make money out of the markets, and they're really focusing on these two areas to make money, it kind of has to be a little bit flawed. So it's very important, and we do stress at Magnetic Trading, you've got to think and act very differently to the herd. And our trading is very different to many people out there on the internet. And of course, there's price action as well. You can just trade on price action. Again, it has its place. It's quite a difficult skill to master, just trading a raw price action chart. There are people that can do it, but you've got to have a very strong mindset to be able to do that. And that means switching into buys, then coming out, switching into sells. Yeah, it can be quite complicated. So what's the true function of the market? Well, markets exist to match up buyers and sellers. So in my early days, I really decided to focus on a strategy which highlighted why this concept is true. So it makes sense that we focus on areas where no buyers and sellers have been matched up, and we take advantage of that, or we're taking advantage or piggybacking onto big market function events and riding the wave up or down. So it's really our style of trading is very much linked to why the markets exist, and that's why we have such high win rates, and why our systems and strategies don't phase out over time, which so many systems out there have been. I'm sure if you've been in trading for a long time, you know, back in the day, you know, 5-10 years ago, there were all these systems being flogged on the internet. The problem is they're based on price action and they just phase out. So market function trades don't phase out because they are linked to why markets exist in the first place, and that's why they stand the test of time. So some examples of our market function trades. It's the first trading day of the month. That's when the pension money comes in. We're going to piggyback on the back of that. We're only going to buy on these days. Big dividend days. This is when the underlying stocks of index markets, they are paying their shareholders big dividends. We're going to buy on these days only. Of course, there's seasonal buying, which is really, really beneficial for investing as well. There's end of month trading, there's end of quarter trading. Guess what? We're coming up to end of quarter trading at the end of December. So we have trades linked to multiple markets where we're going to look to sell the market at a precise time. That's in my diary right now. I know exactly what time I'm going to be trading at the end of the quarter in December. And I know exactly which markets I'm going to do. So again, if you don't have much time, this type of trading is very, very good. And then, of course, we've got expiry. I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about expiry shortly, but that is this Friday. And again, in my diary, I already have the time penciled in. I'm going to be trading for 5-10 minutes at 10 past 10 UK time on Friday. I know this strategy has an 85% chance of winning. So it's one of them. I'm going to free up my time. I'm going to make sure I'm at the screen. Even if it's a busy day, I'm going to make sure I've got that time blocked out already. So here at Magnetic Trading, we do emphasize that if you trade less, you are going to make more. I found over a decade of teaching people that people just trade way too much. And I think it's because they're trading low risk strategies, or they're trading very small accounts, and they just end up over trading. So it's better to concentrate your risk, up your leverage, and focus on a few trades which have very high win rates, rather than just buying and selling for trades which maybe have 56% win rates. All right, so as I said, this month we have an array of trades already setting up for market function trades. These are just some of them which I put in my calendar. There are other trades as well. We've already had the DAX first of the month trade. 15th of December, which is Friday, we've got the FTSE triple witching trade. So that's going to get traded, 85% chance of winning. Christmas rally. Karen's going to talk to you about that in a second. That's a really exciting trade. If you're on board with us, we're going to tell you exactly when to buy and come out of those trades on multiple markets across the world. There is some easy money to be made out of that one. And as I said, Cameron will go into that in a second. ASX end of quarter trade, FTSE and Dow end of quarter trades are on the back end of the month, 29th. And again, these trades have a phenomenal win rate as well. So that's just a little splattering of our market function trades and how we plan our months and calendar months to trade around specific times and get on very high probability trades. So let's dive over now into the Christmas rally with Cameron and yeah, see what we can get and plan for that one.
Okay, thanks, Mark, and big welcome to you all. Thanks for joining. So yeah, it's that time of year again. The Christmas rally is upon us. I think most of us are familiar with the phenomena of the Christmas rally. Certainly, we are into the best 6 months of the year for the stock market. Generally, we see the market rise now into March. But we do have this effect, which was termed the Christmas rally back in 1972, which emphasizes really by definition the final 5 trading days of the year and the first 2 trading days of the new year. And this has a potential for a rally. I myself have been trading this for a long time. We're going to look at an example in a minute. And we've really had, this has worked almost 80% of the time if we look at the performance on the S&P 500. So let's take a look at an example of one of the Christmas rallies. And it's something that we trade along with our clients. You can see that I've been posting to our clients that generally I do it on the DAX because that is my own speciality in my own market, that if we see certain things that the Christmas rally could be on. But look at this chart that we've got here. 22nd is the time when we get to Christmas rally time. You can see that on the left of the chart, and all of the way, look how the market goes all the way up until the 5th and then comes off. So you can see that effect happening. And through that process, we can just roll to the next slide. We also have the first trading day of the month. So we're already getting into the trade pre the Christmas holidays. And then through the Christmas holidays, we may be adding to the trade. I will be updating as we go. And then we roll into another one of our market function trades, which is the first trading day of the month. And in this example, just that trade alone, we can see returned 347% with 146 points. But some of these, I'll hold into the end of the Christmas rally. We just have a look at the next slide, and we can see, of course, a number of the clients making great returns on the Christmas rally and on the back of the first of the month trade. So this is me back just on the 5th of January, saying what a phenomenal trade we've had in 2021. In 7 days, I made $42,000 US. Last year, I guess we were in a little bit of a recession. I didn't make quite as much, but needless to say, $11,342 is not bad for a week in the market. So I'm going to be trading this live with our clients and maybe some of you just next week. I think we're into that season, so it's right upon us.
All right, thanks for that, Cameron. So 22nd, guys, put that in your calendars. And yeah, if you're with us, we'll manage that throughout the Santa Claus season. And, if you're not with us, you can still look at your chosen markets, look for reasons to buy on the 22nd. As I said, it works across multiple markets. Cameron's a specialist on the DAX. I'll be following him on that one, but I'll also be looking at the FTSE myself And also like the NASDAQ this year, it's been a particularly bullish year for the NASDAQ. So if we get any buy signals on that one, I'll certainly be taking advantage of that one, and we'll be sharing that with our clients. So that is termed as a market function trade, no doubt, the Christmas rally. And again, it's one of those trades that you put in the calendar and you know specifically when you're going to be trading that. The next trade I want to talk to you about is the FTSE expiry trade. So if you've joined me for these webinars throughout the year, I always bang on about this every month, and I'll keep banging on about it. Most of you have joined this trade and are enjoying it. You join me in a live room every month at a set time. And as I said, the win rate for this is over 80%. It takes just 10 minutes to trade. It's linked to what's happening in the options market, but we're not actually trading options. We're trading the FTSE 100 cash market. So it's a normal spread bet or CFD trade. However, what's happening in the background is options are expiring, and it has a spillover effect on the price action on the FTSE for about 5 minutes. During that 5 minutes, no buyers and sellers have been matched up. So what we'll see is the market will spike up or down, but it will rebalance. Remember what I talked about just a few moments ago about what the markets, why the markets exist in the first place? Well, they're here to match up buyers and sellers. So this is a classic example of what's happening in the market. We're seeing this event happen, markets moving up or down, no price action is matching up buyers and sellers, and therefore we see the spikes up or down retrace back down or up. Let's have a little look at some examples of this. I'm just going to go through the last few months, but we can see in August this year, at 10 past 10, the market moves down. Our system tells us exactly where to buy, and it moves all the way back up again. Then in September, same thing. It just so happens, again, the expiry pushes down. Our system tells us exactly where to buy and place our stop. We get the move on up, retraces all the way back. Then October, we didn't actually get a trade. It didn't set up. But November, so November just gone, the expiry in this example, it moved on up. So it moves on up, and what happens? Our system tells us to sell, tells us where to put our stop, and it moves all the way back down. So, I mean, that's just going back a few months, guys, and it just happens time and time again. It's going to happen on December. I guarantee you there's a good likely 85% chance I'm going to post on the free Telegram that it's a winner. And those of you that still haven't taken action, you're going to be missing out again. So personally on these trades, I go in and I'll just, as I said, it's a 5-10 minute trade. In August, I made just under $1,000. Then in September, I made $2,500. Then in November, I made $1,200. These are very, very quick trades. I get in, I get out, I make the money, and then I'm out of the market. Liquid, totally liquid, and I'll do it the next month with an 85% chance of winning. So that's expiry, guys. As I said, I'll give you the chance to get hold of that at the end of this presentation. But if you're interested, certainly I'll answer some questions at the end of this presentation. All right, so moving on. We know that on the 15th, so expiry is happening 22nd December. You can take a screenshot of this one, actually, guys. You want to be aware of these big market function events happening this month. So, although we are taking a break from magnetic trading on this Friday for a couple of weeks, myself and Cameron will still be pretty busy. We won't be doing our live room, but we've got all this to manage for our clients. We've got to make them money. We've got to help our clients pay for Christmas and also their 2024 holidays. So that's a little bit about the market function trades. Okay, so that's our short-term trades that we like to make some quick money on. We get in, we get out. I always term it as we're not after taking the big cheese in the market with the short-term trading. We're just getting in, we're taking little snippets out of the market, and we're coming out again. That's the beauty of the market function trades. On the other side of the spectrum, we also do investing as well. So we do invest our wealth. We've been doing that for over a decade as well. And for the last 5 years, we've been sharing our strategy with a number of our inner circle clients, but we actually opened up our investment program this year, last June, and we're getting some amazing results. So I'm going to show you what we decided to do this year. But just a little bit about the stock market. Since COVID, you may have seen many big speakers like Tony Robbins out there advocating that now's the time to use buy and hold strategies. Everyone's become very familiar with Warren Buffett as well and his buy and hold strategies. Yes, it's worked incredibly well, but we live in a very different environment now, which I'm going to discuss. And I believe that buy and hold strategies are no longer good enough to safeguard your wealth. There are opportunities every calendar year to get far more returns out of the market than just staying in the market long term. You can time it and you can get a lot better results. Market volatility has also rapidly increased in the markets. As I said, a lot of things have changed. Volatility has increased. There's a lot of money in the circulation system now, and you can take advantage of it. I always also emphasize that when everyone's focusing on something, the general population are getting onto something, it's time to do the opposite. So everyone's now getting into investing. That they're feeding their funds every month. They're putting a little bit in every month, and that's what they're doing. For me, I'm doing stuff very, very differently now. I also like to stress as well that a lot of people put their money into funds. And if you didn't know it, 95% of funds fail to beat the market. But you're also getting charged really bad fees as well. If you just look at the effect of 1 to 2% annual management cost on your overall money you're investing into that fund, it's really shocking how much wealth you're missing out over a 10, 20 years. So if you've got a pension, then you've really got to look into that, because those fees for funds, which are very average, are eating away at your wealth. And then, of course, there's money supply. I'm going to talk to you about money supply in a second, and you need to be aware of that one. So we're very much focused on this portfolio. I'm sure you've seen it. It's a mix of equities, bonds, and cash. And this is kind of the standard model that most people go into. And, they'll probably make around 5 to 10% per annum if they're lucky on this sort of stuff. So they may just about get over inflation. But I mean, as we know, inflation has gone up ridiculously all around the world now. And actually, most of these funds are not even beating inflation. Personally, this year, I'm up almost 30%, and we're not even at the end of the year. So my portfolio, my overall wealth has increased 30% this year by using the magnetic trading strategy. We're going to talk about what we're doing and what we did this year for ourselves and for our clients. So everyone's focused on inflation. If you go to any financial advisor, they'll sit you down. They're like, Mr. and Mrs. Joe Bloggs, you must protect your money against inflation. The problem is no one's talking about currency debasement. Currency debasement is the continual devaluation of your fiat currency. Fiat currency being the Australian dollar, the pound sterling, the US dollar. I'm sure you've heard it, cash is trash. If you just leave your money in the bank account doing nothing, you're losing money. So it's important to invest, but as I said, you've got to invest in the correct way, and you've got to get over the standard mindset of just beating inflation. So if we just look at gold, that's meant to be the traditional hedge against inflation. People are still going into gold thinking that's the way to do it. But yeah, over the last 10 years, gold is made around 4.6% per annum. So it's not even beating inflation. And we haven't even touched on currency debasement yet. As I said, in most portfolios, people are focusing on gold as the inflation hedge. So we're not doing that here at Magnetic Trading. We're doing something quite differently. Then we've got currency debasement. Let me just show you an example of this is the US dollar, but you can see the purchasing power of your hard-earned money goes down every year as the governments print more money. And over the last 10 years, through quantitative easing, there's been a flurry of financial stimulus, which has created even more currency debasement, more money being printed out there, which means that even if you're making 10% in your fund and you think, oh, that's great, the problem is when you liquidate that fund and you go and buy a Starbucks coffee, your money is not buying what it used to. Everything is going up in value, way more than 10%. So if you're not making, 20, 30% per annum, you're going to struggle. So this is just to emphasize what has happened between 2020 and 2021. The Fed, so the American government, they drove a 6.4 trillion increase in money supply for the US dollar, which also had, of course, big spillovers to all currencies around the world. And other global governments took similar action. So huge amount of currency debasement has been going on. And the US government are ready for the next round of stimulus for 2024. So this is not ended, guys. It's going to continue. So if you don't act, you're going to be left behind. Now, if we look at just the raw hard evidence on this, we can look, this is the NASDAQ. I think we'll all agree that if we bought the NASDAQ in 2000 and, we looked at it today, that's a pretty good return. There's no doubt about that. I mean, look at it. It's just, it's going great. And if you just took that against inflation, you'd be very comfortable. The problem is if you now put the NASDAQ returns against the money supply, so the amount of money that has been printed since 2000, what are you seeing on the chart, guys? Just type in. I really want you to understand what you are seeing on the chart because it's really important. Because no one's talking about this. If you go to your IFA or your bank manager or whatever, whoever's giving you advice, I guarantee you they're not talking about currency debasement. So what are you seeing on the charts here? Well, the first observation is that the value of your money is actually below what it used to be in 2000. So this traditional buy and hold strategy is not keeping up with inflation or currency debasement. People are losing their wealth and the system thinks that you are safe. And that's why every year people are struggling. Unless you've got an enormous amount of money, the returns you're getting on your pension, you're actually losing money. So again, this is really important stuff. And I really want to emphasize that you need to know this. You need to not be scammed by the system. So what's the magnetic investment strategy? What's the answer? Well, as I said, we've been investing for a long time now. We were sharing, well, we have been sharing our investments with our inner circle group. That's our mentorship group for the last 5 years. But what we do is we invest in certain stocks, a few stocks, not many. We go into a mix of traditional ETF index funds. We have replaced gold with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the new gold. And you've, again, if you've been part of magnetic trading, I mean, myself and Cameron have been drumming on all year about how you must get some Bitcoin, otherwise you're going to miss the boat. I still think there's a chance you can still get some, but I think next year, I think it will be unattainable. The prices will be way too high. And then, of course, what we do is we add in our market function trades as well. So the likes of FTSE expiry, the DAX first of the month trading, the end of quarter trades, the Christmas rallies, the dividend trades. We put that into the mix, and that enables us to make a 20 to 30% return on our overall wealth each year, and that protects against inflation, it protects us against currency debasement, and it's growing our wealth way above those two factors as well. If you don't know what an ETF is, it's an exchange traded fund. If you've got a CFD account, you'll buy it. You can buy it on the NASDAQ, you can buy it on the S&P. An exchange traded fund, it's got very low fees to get in. And as I said, most of these ETF funds, which is just the market itself, there's no fund manager, you're just literally going into the market itself. Most fund managers don't beat these ETFs anyway. They don't beat the market. So the cost of going into these funds is minimal. There's no annual management charges, just a small entry fee. You can get it on the FTSE 100 as well. You can get it on the DAX. You can get it on the Australian markets. But these are the chosen vehicles that we use to go into our investments. We don't use leverage. I believe that most people mess up investing because they use leverage. So when we invest, we're not using any leverage. So this year, when we met with our clients in January 2023, this was our recommended allocation. We went 70% of the stock market using ETF investments. We do have some stocks as well, which I'm going to show you as well. We recommended Bitcoin at 10% of your overall portfolio. We've increased that now to 20%. And we also had 20% categorized for market function trades and also swing trades. So what are we going to do in 2024? Well, you're going to have to join us for that, but we will be altering the allocation for 2024. And we'll be telling our clients exactly what to do. I will add, we don't go into the market straight away in January. Last year we went in with some allocation, then we waited, and then we came out of pretty much everything in July, and then we went back in again in October. So we are getting in and out. We're not just buying and holding on this one. We do want to get increased returns. And as I said, we opened this up to our client base this year. And yeah, I mean, the testimonials speak for themselves. This is Diane. She just messaged me the other day on the 6th of December. One of our recommendations was up 350% in one day. Of course, not all of them are like that one. But yeah, she just wants to certainly continue on that one. This is what you get. We actually post all of our trades, and Cameron recommended an investment into Core Scientific. That's a stock. That stock actually increased 43% since the 24th of November. Actually, it's more than that anyway. But that was another stock that we used. We used some stocks to really bolster those returns. And then we use swing trades as well. If you don't know what a swing trade is, we'll use a spread bet or a CFD, and our system basically tells us the optimal buy levels in the markets. We wait for them patiently. When they hit those levels, we will get into longer term trades using CFDs. So we call them investment trades. It's not using an ETF, it's using a CFD or a futures contract or a spread bet. Actually, we prefer to use futures contracts because there's no overnight financing costs. But we did this, I think this was in October. Yeah, the 23rd of October, we told all of our clients to buy the DAX at 14,745. And that, if you look at the price of the DAX today, is well over 2,000 points. We are still managing some of that trade. Cameron is continually pushing up the stop loss. This was on the 7th of December, moving the stop up on this one. And actually, we still haven't been stopped out on the last 25%. The DAX just keeps moving up and up and up and up and up. It will eventually get stopped out and we'll realize all our gains. But yeah, we're still in that one. So what about Bitcoin then? Well, if you haven't seen my Bitcoin video, you can email me and I'll give it to you. But there was a number of reasons why we decided to tell our clients to get into Bitcoin. It's still not widely adopted out there. A lot of people still have not taken on board that they must get into Bitcoin. But by the time it's going to be in, by the time we've got the speakers like Tony Robbins saying that you should be in Bitcoin, or other big global speakers out there, or the books are writing about it, it's going to be too late. So we're doing stuff differently to the herd. And this year we decided that we really wanted to spread the word that you must get some Bitcoin. The reason being is there is going to be an exchange traded fund, and BlackRock, it is the biggest wealth manager in the world, have applied for it, and it's likely to be approved early January. And what that means is the average general investor in America will now be able to easily buy Bitcoin. And it means that your IFA or your financial advisor will be able to go out to Mr. and Mrs. Joe Bloggs and say, right, we recommend that you should have a small allocation to Bitcoin. Now, if you think about, even if they recommend 0.5 to 1%, and the amount of money that is going to go into Bitcoin is going to be phenomenal. And the good thing about Bitcoin is there is a limited supply of Bitcoin. There's only ever going to be 21 million coins around. So you can really take advantage of this supply and demand problem with Bitcoin. And once it starts exponentially moving up, you could see prices exponentially move up very, very high. We've also got Bitcoin halving that's coming up in 2024. So lots of things to take advantage of in Bitcoin. And really, when it starts to, once the ETF is approved and we've seen this big skyrocket move, we will then actually start to do swing trades on Bitcoin at the moment. At the moment, we're just investing. We're not telling our clients to sell any Bitcoin. But when we do, we're going to be timing some of our entries for swing trades on Bitcoin as well. So that's going to be pretty exciting. This was the first quarter of 23 for Bitcoin. You can see it massively outperformed every single market asset in the world. That 71% is now 163%. So Bitcoin is up 163% this year, folks. So if you haven't taken the action, there you go. There's the evidence that it's just an amazing asset. So what have we done this year for our trades? Well, we realized a load of investments, as I said, in June, July. We came out of our NASDAQ, we came out of S&P, we came out of emerging markets, we came out of the FTSE. And then really what we did is we went back in again in October. So you'll see that in October, when the markets were crashing and everything was doom and gloom, we knew that was the optimal time to buy. And if you've looked at the stock market recently, you'll see that it's up 15% already since we got in. And this is my own portfolio throughout the year. As I said, it's just under 30% up. You can see the highs and lows of the portfolio. You'll see that we're not doing anything high risk here. You're not seeing my portfolio go up 10, 30, 40, 50% and then drop 50% or anything like that. It's a very conservative portfolio. I mean, look, this is our hard-earned money. There's no way I'm going to go and risk my hard-earned money. I want to do it in a very conservative way because, we're all getting older. I don't want to be at the point now where I lose half my wealth. But I know there's a way to conservatively grow my wealth without taking unnecessary risk. So that's really what we're doing here at Magnetic Trading. If you're a young guy or a young girl wanting to come in and make 100% in one day, we are not for you. You may as well switch off this webinar because we're not going to be interesting for you. But if you want to grow your portfolio wealth, your pensions, your whatever you've got in, I forget the name in Australia, your self-annuation funds. But yeah, if you're managing them and you want to manage them in a very conservative manner, then we probably are a good fit for you. These are the sort of alerts that we demonstrate to our clients. These are just simple buys. Bitcoin investment here, we're going to enter at 25,000 now. And then we were getting in just below 26 in May this year. We got out of the Euro stocks in the summer for a 35% gain. That's an ETF, Euro Stocks 50. But it's not just, it's not just ETFs. We have actually, if we see value in other asset classes, of course we're going to take advantage of that. Like there was a massive buy opportunity in oil during COVID. We bought oil at $23 and we came out at 40. Yes, we came out way too early, and I wish I was still holding it today, but we still made a 70% profit. We also bought Ethereum. We made a nice 60% profit on Ethereum. We're not believers in Ethereum now. We're only in the crypto space. It's just Bitcoin that we use because there's solid reasons. We're not doing alternative coins. There are many people out there who still advocate the crypto coins. There's thousands of them, but to be honest, I don't see what the value is, and I don't understand them, so I'm not going to invest in them. But I do understand Bitcoin. Some examples of some stocks as well. Here's British Petroleum on the FTSE 100, 14% gain there. Euro stocks, we cashed out this year for 21%. This is the DAX. I mean, I could go on and on and on with these examples, but the point is actually one investment trade can pay for a year on this program if you want to get involved. How does it work? Well, you don't really need to do anything. We will alert you whenever we're going into an investment. We'll give you the reasons as well, but there's no real learning that you need to do, and there's no research that you need to do. You're just going to receive an alert. Usually we tell our members to get ready for something so they can plan their lives around or free up their money so they can invest in some of the opportunities that we're seeing. We also do quarterly investment portfolio reviews. We're actually going to do this monthly going forward in 2024. Just give our members monthly updates as to what's going on. So who is this for? Well, it's for clients that recognize they need to be wealthy by doing the opposite to the majority. If you just keep following the herd, you're going to get poorer. It's simple as that. You've got to be open to change. You've got to have a desire to be surrounded by successful traders, investors out there. Recognize to stay ahead of the game, or you're going to be left behind. Have some retirement income. Maybe you're young, maybe you're you're older, whatever it is. Make sure you do have some retirement money. If you're someone that's just making money and you're spending all of it, again, we're not for you. If you're time poor, this program's very good for you. You really don't need much time for this at all. Or if you maybe want to get out of your job, or you're coming to retirement, or you just want to travel around the world, you want to get out of the rat race, this is an ideal way to create an income stream as well. This is a business, guys. There's no doubt about it. This is a business. It's a very structured business, very much based on risk and opportunity, but we certainly treat it as a business. Of course, we'll have the bonus swing trades as well, like the DAX, that you'll get. So just in summary, what's in the investment program? You're going to get investment trade alerts, and you're going to get those market function trades. Yes, that includes the expiry trade, the Christmas rally, the first of the year trades, the end of quarter trades. You get all of that. You get the swing trades. You get emails explaining why an investment is being taken. We don't believe in just getting you into something that you don't understand. We have monthly reviews. If you don't really know us too well, you can go on the internet. You can look at Trustpilot. We've got hundreds of reviews over the years from our members, and we've got a very high rating on that one. So the cost for this is usually £4,000, 8,000 Aussie, but as an early bird, to get yourself going for 2024, it's just £2,500 or 5,000 Aussie for the whole entire year. Now, some of you are probably thinking, oh, that's quite a lot, Mark. Well, the reality is it isn't actually. If you look at the fact that we're not charging a flat fee, or we're taking any percentage of your investment monies like most funds do, you're going to be saving an awful lot of money. And remember, most funds that you're in, 95% of them are not even beating the market. So if you want to take advantage of this, you can email me. I'm happy to have a quick phone call to see if you're the right fit. Take advantage of this, guys. I mean, it's going to be another year. Some of you may have seen this in 2023 when we opened it up. It's another year you've missed the boat. I guarantee at the end of 2024, I'll be doing the same thing, and you'll be wishing that you got involved for 2024 and getting involved with the money that is on offer. Of course, it's the presidential year as well next year, so it's likely to be a pretty bullish year in the stock market as the new president is elected in the United States, which is often a bullish time of the year. All right, I'm going to take some questions now, and really I'm happy to answer anything that we talked about. That can be to do with the investments. It can be to do with some of the market function trades. I will have a quick look at the market as well on the FTSE. I'm just quickly looking at the price now, 75, 77 on the FTSE. If you were with us yesterday, you know we were buying the FTSE down at 7,500 to 7,480, and we're looking for 7,600. So I'm still very interested in buying the FTSE on pullbacks. We're going to continue that. I don't know if any of you joined me last month, but I was talking about the fact that the FTSE generally closes the year higher than the October low. So there's a statistic on that. I think it's just under 90% win rate on that one. But that alone, if you take an action on it, if you join me on the last webinar, I told you to put your stop below 7,200 and just buy the FTSE and yeah, close it at the end of the year. If you've done that, you should be doing really well. And yeah, I think we'll be surpassing 7,600 very, very soon on the FTSE. So keep buying the dips, guys, on FTSE. It's a great time of the year to make some money. Rogers is saying at $64,000 on Bitcoin, has it still got value? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I personally feel, I mean, I don't want to talk about numbers or where I think Bitcoin's going, but it's going a lot higher than 64,000. It's at, I think it's around 42,000 today. I need to check on the price, but yes, I do believe it's going far higher than 64,000. Alex is just saying, I just want to say thank you. I've enjoyed the last couple of months of you, changed my style of trading and investing for the better. Absolutely great, Alex. I'm glad you are enjoying it. Morris is asking about can breakout long. What is it? It's the CBOL is can breakout long, Morris. It's a pivot point in the market. Oh, one thing I forgot to do, guys, is I forgot to put the link in the box. So I'm just going to put that in for you now for the investment program. If you get on board today or whenever, you will, of course, we're going to manage the entire Christmas rally for you. I mean, that alone could pay for a whole year on the program. I think we've demonstrated enough value that you're going to get your money back easily on this type of program. But there's loads of trades happening just this month, actually, that you can make some really good money on. Don't forget, expiry is on Friday. Triple witching expiry. You'll join me in a live room for that one, and I will trade that with you. Tell you exactly when to get in and when we're getting out as well. Sammy's asking, when does the Christmas rally start? If you missed the presentation, it's the 22nd of December that we are going to be looking out for entries on the Christmas rally. 22nd of December. Roger's asking, can you invest Aussie dollars in Bitcoin? Yes, you can. Absolutely, yes. Thank you, Karen. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yes, Martin, there will be a recording for this, and yeah, we'll get that out hopefully tomorrow for you, for sure. All right, guys, final questions before we call it a day. Final questions. Michael, who messaged me about the live training room expiry in DAX. So yes, you've got access to the expiry trade and the DAX first of the month trade. So every month for expiry, you'll join us in the live trading room. We'll trade that live with you. And you've also got the DAX first of the month trade. Correct. But yeah, feel free to message me if you've got any questions on that one, Michael. Awesome, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I'm sure we'll see some of you for 2024 investing. We look forward to managing the Christmas rally for you, the FTSE expiry trades and the DAX first of the year trades. If you're not with us, I wish you an amazing Christmas and a really lovely new year with your families. And yeah, we're going to be back officially on the 2nd of January. But of course, we will be managing a whole spectrum of trades during those Christmas holidays. All right, guys, we are gonna have to go now. So yeah, we will catch you soon.